Hey, this is Rob from Machine Head, and you're watching Metal Hammer TV. It was mind-blowing. Like, it was unfucking believable how good it was yesterday, man. Yesterday was one of the greatest shows I think we've ever played in our lives. The response was unbelievable. I mean, it was just as far as you could see, the hands and the fight parts during clenching and the claps during Halo and the sing-alongs. There was like 10 pits during Davidian. I was just like, holy fuck, dude. It was insane. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it literally took me about 5 hours to come down from yesterday. I was just like pacing back here. My feet like wouldn't stop moving. I was just like adrenaline just. I don't know. I don't understand the question. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I mean, this is to be having, this kind of success this far on into our career. It's crazy, like it's not even logical. It's like we're on our 6th album, and like now is when everybody's going crazy. It's like, and the fact that, I just think the fact that, the record that we put out it really goes kind of against everything that really should be popular. I mean, we're opening with a 10.5-minute track. I mean, the lyrics are fucking furious, very almost radical in some ways as to what they're saying. And, the fact that it's been so, so embraced by so many young people, like, all over it makes us really proud, man, Things that rise up, the thing that's there, is the reaction to it. Do you think that actually people kind of getting from the music coming up and I want something more? Yeah. I definitely think so. I think, kids are getting tired of listening to thrash bands who sing about, like, their girlfriend leaving them, They want something else. And it's very much like a sign of the times record, and I think the reaction to it is definitely a sign of the times too. So. When you're in the studio, though, do you get that feeling? Do you expect? Are you like, actually, yeah, this is the fucking record, or is it often like you're a bit nervous before it comes out? Not a record, like, how was it? I think about like halfway through the recording process, we were like, I think we're onto something here, man. Like, this is really starting to be pretty fucking cool. But you always kind of have that. I mean, I think in our case the reason that we had that was because we've got 4 9-minute plus songs on the album. It's like, are we like just becoming like self-indulgent like lunatics, or like, is this really that good? Are people gonna like, it's a lot to ask to like open your record with a 10-minute track and like have your fans who aren't necessarily used to that, dig it. But the reaction has just been like, ah, yeah. Definitely with like the musical themes, the hooks and the solos and all that kind of stuff. You felt those songs deserve to be that long. It's like when we were writing, it's just, when we told our record company that. Yeah, we want to. It wasn't like we want to. It was like, we're gonna open the album with a 10.5-minute track. They were like, stunned silence for like 20 seconds on the other end of the line. Like, okay, are you sure you don't want to open with Aesthetics of Hate? We were like, nope, we want to open with Clenching. And they were like, okay. That was the only song that could open. I mean, it just set the tone. It just set the tone in every way, shape, and form. That intro was so epic, and it was just epic.
you know, and it was like, if you're going to open with Lord of the Rings, you know, you got to come swinging, and we came swinging, you know, so that's kind of how we were looking at it. It's kind of like, it was almost like a soundtrack, you know, like you're creating a soundtrack, and you needed something that attention grabbing and broad in scope to do that.
So was there anything that didn't make it to the album in terms of whole songs or ideas and things that you're still working with there?
Yeah, I mean, we wrote 26 songs for the album, and they weren't all full songs, you know, like there was some half songs, and there was, you know, just verses and choruses and stuff like that, but it's like they just weren't really going anywhere. They weren't, you know, they just, as arcane as this sounds, it just didn't feel right, you know, they didn't feel right, and with this, we were just kind of going with our gut, and the 8 songs, so basically we canned, what's that, 18 songs? 18 plus 8, yeah, you know, we canned 18 songs and went with the 8 that we had because they seemed to go the best together and flow as a piece. And it wasn't really hard. I mean, there wasn't like a lot of back and forth. It was like, yeah, those are the 8, you know.
So in terms of the balance between bands who just release the same record again and again, and criticize releasing the same record again and again, bands who kind of change radically, often lose fans, and stuff like that, how is it that you kind of maintain that balance between progressing and moving forward, but also being perceived as a
You know, I mean, people have criticized us for both, you know. We've got 6 albums out. We've been around for 13 years, you know. We've heard all the criticisms that people can sling at us. I guess in our heads, it's like if we're going to be criticized for anything, better it be for daring to fail and taking a roll of the dice than for never risking anything, you know.
In terms of, again, the album that makes so massive, is it kind of inspired in any ways to continue to do those kind of brave moves, to have like 9-minute tracks that actually fuck it? You know, people are into it, and especially let's keep people on it.
Yeah, I don't know what we're gonna do for our next album. We may just have to end it here and just, you know, tour for like the next 10 years after this one, you know. I don't know, man. We'll see what happens. You know, I mean, I also think that, you know, our mindset going into this was, you know, after Through the Ashes, you know, it was such a big success for us. You know, a lot of people were looking at, okay, what are they going to do next, you know. And in the 2 years since Through the Ashes had come out and that we started writing, it's like, you know, a lot of bands had kind of jumped on that sound too, you know, and it's like we kind of felt like if we tried to stick within the Through the Ashes formula, whatever that was, that it wouldn't be as fresh, you know, it wouldn't be as exciting as when it came out. And so that also played a role in, like, you know, how we wrote, you know, that we really needed to try and do something extraordinary. And, you know, well, thank you, man.